Hey everybody, welcome to the podcast. I am Jamie, and this is the best magicians you have never heard of. Hey guys, thanks for coming to the show. Today's guest is killer. We got a 12-year-old magician from San Francisco. This kid's nuts. Wait till you see what he can do. He's been on shows like Kids Say the Darndest Things. He's a hoot. Check out James Chan. Hey James, welcome to the show. How are you?
Pretty good, and you?
I'm very good, thank you. Thanks for being on here. I've seen some of your footage. I watched a couple of things actually today. You're pretty amazing. One of the most amazing things is your confidence. Where does your confidence come from?
My confidence comes from part of it's a little bit of fear because I'm fearing that if I don't do good on stage, it's going to look bad. So that's where part of my confidence comes from. Kind of an oxymoron now that I think about it.
A little bit. Well, how much practice do you have to put in? It must be a crazy amount of hours.
1 hour a day.
Mm-hmm.
But it actually depends on what events are coming up. I mean, if there's a depression and there's no events, we might not practice as much. Or if we're prepping for a TV show, I can practice up to 6 hours.
Wow, 6 hours, that's crazy. Speaking of events, I heard you won a contest. What was this contest that you won?
Yes, I won a local Bay Area contest, and I was competing against many adults in the area, and yeah.
That's awesome.
It's a small Bay Area contest.
So are you ever nervous when you go on stage?
I'm always nervous, but I just think that I channel the nervousness into my persona and my stage.
Okay.
But because I'm nervous that I'm going to screw up, so I use that to focus on what I should do.
That's actually a good tip. What are your favorite kind of tricks?
My favorite tricks include a dream of aces. I can show you that a little bit later. But my absolute favorite trick is when I turn $1 bills into $100 bills.
Oh, everybody loves that trick.
Yes, love it.
So I was looking over your accolades, and one thing I did notice was I'm a big San Francisco 49er fan, and I hear that you did some magic for them.
Yes, I've performed for the San Francisco 49ers. I've also performed for Draymond Green of the Golden State Warriors. Oh. Don't know if you heard of him, but Draymond Green, Zaza Pachulia, and I think Sean Livingston was there too.
Oh, that's fantastic. So the video I just watched of you, you were on Kids Say the Darndest Things. And
Yes.
Let me tell you, you're beyond your age when it comes to your stage presence. It was very good. I love the way it ended with the host in the box. That was really, really cool. Did you get a lot of attention from that?
Yes, that was actually, that's probably one of my proudest moments ever.
Awesome. Now, most 12-year-olds aren't doing what you're doing and doing shows and actually, pretty much have a job. How do you feel that your life is different than the average kid?
I think I'm lucky because I have a work ethic. I have an idea of a work ethic for years to come. So this is giving me a slight advantage, in fact.
Well, your dad was a guest on this show not too long ago. I assume that he has a lot to do with that.
Yes, he has. In fact, without him, I probably would not be doing this, and I'd probably be playing video games.
Okay, so what else do you do other than magic? Obviously, video games.
Okay. I mean, yes, I do like to play a little bit of Nintendo, but I also I like hanging out with my mom and just seeing what she's doing, like gardening. I also like just watching nature documentaries.
Nature documentaries.
Yeah.
Uh,
I'm a small fan. I like ants.
you like ants,
Yep, those are my favorites.
and why are they your favorite?
To be honest, I don't know. I think it's just the fact that they all work together for a common good.
You ever thought about getting an ant farm?
I've thought of it, but then I hear mom and she says, "Nope, I forbid ants in this house. No ants. If they escape, I don't want to deal with it." And my sister is not a big fan of ants either, and she said, if James gets to have ants, I want an ant eater.
That sounds like something a sister would say.
Now, of course, I didn't get ants. In fact, I didn't really get a pet. So she just got a tiny fish.
Oh, compromise. I saw some of your videos where you were juggling. Um, that's pretty impressive, especially when you take out the torches. There's an element of danger there. How long did it take you to be able to do that with actual fire?
I started learning how to juggle at 4 years old. 4 years old, yeah. I started learning how to juggle at 4. I started performing at age 5. By age 8, I could juggle 5 balls, and by age 10, I could juggle 3 flaming torches.
Wow, that's crazy. So now you can do 5 balls or 3 torches?
5 balls or 3 torches.
Well, that's fantastic. What's your favorite thing to do in Magic? What do you like practicing?
What do I like practicing? You know, I don't really have a preference. I think the best thing to practice would be the most efficient thing or the trick that helps me build up my repertoire.
Well, that makes sense. So what's next? What are you looking towards? What are you going to do? Where am I going to see you? What's going on?
I'm hoping that I could go on to Penn and Teller Fool Us and We Can America's Got Talent. That would be a very nice thing to do.
Absolutely, it would. Now on Penn and Teller, I haven't seen all the episodes, but have they ever had a child magician on there?
Um, yes, they've had multiple child magicians on many occasions. I think there was one person who was actually about my age, and there are quite a few child magicians on before.
You have something that you can show us? You got a demonstration for the audience?
Is a classic. Watch. Okay. 2 rubber bands linked together. That's 1, 2, 3. The last one just melts straight through.
Very nice.
Here, I'll do this one more time at a different angle.
Looks so good, James. Good job. Good job. You know what? That was actually the very first trick I ever learned.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the first 2 tricks I ever learned, that was the first one. And the second one was the disappearing silk.
Yeah. Actually, I'm going to have my dad help me out. So, Dad, I'm just going to use his hand. Okay. Dad, what I'd like you to do is pinch the top rung. One.
Very cool.
Without letting go.
That looks so good. I've always loved rubber band things. I've seen some guys do some crazy things with rubber bands. That looks fantastic.
Thank you.
So I hear one of your favorite things to do is the 3 shell game.
The 3 shell game. Let me see what it is. Here, allow me to show you. Three shells, 1 pea. And just follow 1, 2, 3. Follow me. Not here.
Very good.
I'll do this one more time. Actually, a few more times.
That's where I would pick. Nope, not there either. Very good, very good.
Do this one more time.
Not there either. You're very good at that.
Thank you.
Those are cool looking shows.
Thank you. It's doing magic shows that keeps me off the streets.
Oh, that it does. But I've seen you on the streets. I saw some video of you doing magic out on the streets, even pickpocketing people.
Well, I mean, I do that just to practice. But I always return it. I don't. Everything is returned. But no, magic shows keep me from doing it for reals on the streets.
So you got a deck of cards there. What are you going to do with a deck of cards?
This is more of a new trick. I'm just going to. I'm going to give you your choice. You can have the ace of spades, ace of clubs, 2 or 3 of clubs.
And I will take the ace of clubs.
Huh?
The ace of clubs.
Ace of clubs. All right. We're going to take your card and sign it. And we're going to put a few symbols on it. So can you give me a, I don't know, a symbol like a heart or a money sign or something like that?
How about a star?
A star?
Yeah.
Okay. Star. Right there. Okay. So that is your signed card. We're going to just take that and place it into the middle of the deck. Watch. 1, 2. Not on top, not on bottom. But if I just give it a little bit of a rub, it comes straight to it.
Very good.
And I'm going to do that again. And that's your signed card with the star.
Yes.
Okay, we're going to just push that in. And watch, it's going to jump through the screen into the Zoom platform.
Very good.
We'll do that again. We'll do that one more time. Go ahead. We're just going to go ahead and push that in. And right there in my dad's mouth is your card.
Very good. Very good.
I learned most of my tricks from my dad.
Do you do a lot of card tricks, or do you do more big tricks, stage tricks?
I prefer to do close-up magic more than stage because I have, well, you can combine a lot of close-up tricks to create more. While stage, it's slightly harder. You need a show order for stage. While close-up, you can improv, go off the ball.
That's my favorite part about magic is the improv part. I love doing close up for that reason, because when you get the audience going and you build off the reactions, they lead the story, and it's makes it so much fun. That's what I miss most about magic right now, doing it for live people. You don't quite have that. Your card magic sleight of hand. I watched some of the videos where you were doing some card sleights that are quite difficult. For example, I watched you doing a back palming routine. And you were very good at that. 2 questions. 1, do you have big hands? Or 2, do you use a regular poker deck when you do that?
First off, no. My hands are kind of small. If I can just have my dad's hands for a second, just for comparison. Here. Oh, there you go. See that?
That makes it even more impressive that you can back palm like that. How many cards can you hold?
I can't hold too many cards. My limit is probably going to be 10, I'd say.
That's still pretty good. 10 is quite a bit. You can do a lot with 10 cards.
I can probably fit more, but I just like to keep it low at 10.
What about, so when you're doing your close-up stuff, do you rely on mostly card tricks, or what about coins? Do you do coin tricks?
I tend to not do that many coins. It would be a pleasure to do more coins because they are very flexible. But yeah, most of the time I stick to the classic cards.
Yeah, sleight of hand with coins is that's a commitment. Definitely.
I also do a little bit of iPhone magic using their phones, but that's a little harder now because of you know what.
Well, are you going to be doing Zoom shows in the future, or
I am already doing Zoom shows.
You're already doing Zoom shows. Okay. So tell me about your Zoom shows.
I usually do a few Zoom shows with my dad, and we usually team up. We take parts of the show one step at a time, and all of our tricks are designed specifically for Zoom. Like the ambitious card routine you just saw.
Right.
That was designed only for Zoom, as we can't really have the camera or the curtain production in either or.
No, but it looked very good. There's lots of people going the Zoom route. Do you do just a show with your dad, or do you have your own show?
I sometimes do my own shows just for practice, but most of the time I do it with my dad.
Okay, that's good. So if people wanted to see you do some magic, where would they go? How would they get to see that?
I think you're going to have to ask my dad because he is the main agent for everything in terms of bookings and everything else.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, how about your dad? Dad, you want to jump in the frame for a minute?
Dad?
Yeah. So if you want to catch James do his magic, he's doing a father and son a dual act on Airbnb experiences and also on Eventbrite. So and he's done about 4 or 5 shows by himself. Walmart hired him recently to do a show, talk about child labor again with Walmart, but they couldn't afford me, so they hired my son. Whenever they can't afford me, I recommend my son, and I say if he's, in the beginning I said, if he's not doing so hot, I'll jump in and help him out. But mainly it was just me giving him props so that it's a lot smoother. Because a lot of times when you're doing things, if there's dead time or you're kind of deciding, what you're going to do, I just hand him something and he knows what to do and he knows all the lines. He's seen me perform enough. So really he can go with it. Sometimes it's more about like, what am I going to do next? And we actually have a really good show order off to the side, but sometimes he changes things up on a rare occasion.
So when you're teaching him or working on new stuff with him, how do you go about it? What strategy do you use to be able to get across what you need to, from not just the sleights, but the psychology, the pattern, the whole showmanship of it?
I'm a move guy, so quite often I start from the move, which I don't think is the best. Like certain moves that have treated me very well, I teach all those moves first because I'm of the thought that the magic should be so strong it can stand by itself. I love direct magic like David Blaine. And then recently I've been influenced by Darren Brown, and I like fast-paced magic like the Mentalist in Las Vegas and Hans Klock. Hans Klock is a little too fast for me, but I love it fast-paced.
Right on.
So the way that I'm influenced by magic is I think what's he gonna need in the future and what's universal and what are the sleights, and then also I look forward to what our goals are. For example, are we gonna be on certain television, or is he doing a lot of kid shows coming up? My goal is to teach him everything that I know. So if I can't do something, I can run him as a standby, because he is the next generation. So I'm just, it's always about the exit strategy when you're talking about business. How are you going to exit? And at least you plan for it, so you've come up to a situation, because as an entertainer, I've done really well. I get paid more than I could have imagined me doing this, because this is what I love.
You know, the thing I'm most impressed about him, I mean, his sleight of hand and his magic, it's all great. It really is. But the confidence with which he goes about his business is just, for a 12-year-old, you just don't see it. It's incredible. So I wondered how you got him to be so confident like that and be so sure of himself.
He made me go on stage for, well, quite a while. And after a while, you start to get used to it.
Well, James, I want to thank you for being on the show. It was very entertaining. And Dan, thanks for letting us do this. And thanks for also being on the show. Your interview is doing very well right now, by the way. So thanks for watching, everybody. I hope you enjoyed this. Keep an eye out for this kid. I'm telling you, this kid's going to be something. Thanks for watching. Slightly out.